think things the prices are high now. It's pretty sure they're going to go quite a bit higher. Inflation, I think right now is around 4%, 4.2, and it's going to go up considerably more. It probably won't peak to about 2028. So I just want people to be prepared for that because people make money in every economy. Doesn't matter what the economy is doing. It's about your personal economy. People actually make a lot of money during these times when inflation is going up. That's because they're on the right side of the equation. They know what's going on with the economy. So here's the bottom line. This is every cycle. 2008, same thing. People lost their homes. A lot of people lost their homes. They were not aware of when it was that was going to happen. They didn't even have any awareness of it. And the other on top of that, they didn't know what to do. So a lot of people got hurt just because they had adjustable rate mortgages. Mm-hmm. And they simply were aware of what's happening and changed to a 30-year fixed mortgage, they could have weathered the storm better. But their mortgage payments went up because as things went up, as the economy got worse, the interest rates went up. So those are the kind of things you need to be aware of. Anyone can thrive, anyone can prosper during these times, but it's about the right side of the equation. Money never disappears. When someone loses money, someone else has gained that money. It doesn't vanish into thin air.
So what is money? I mean, that seems like an obvious question.
It's energy. Money's energy. Mm-hmm. It's all just energy. Some people say money's God in motion. So it's about your positioning in it. So that's why I always focus on the metaphysical side of it, the energetic side of it, because your personal vibration, your personal belief system, your thought process determines how you respond. It's not about what's happening. It's about, are you being proactive? Are you being reactive? Most people are reactive. Now's the time to be proactive. This is not a good time to be reactive and wait.
What's different about 2008? We know 2008 was about the residential. There were a lot of no-doc loans. There were, even here in Atlanta was one of the centers of this whole crisis. What is happening now? What's the convergence now that making this happen?
Well, there are a lot of things like the real estate crisis. That's one of the things that's taking place in the commercial sector. Also, oil being higher. These numbers are already coming in. Oil is a part of practically everything you do, everything you have. Food's delivered by trucks. Mm-hmm. Which is gas. That's petroleum. Everything manufactured with plastic. Mm-hmm. That's petroleum. That's oil. Every plane that flies, every ship that goes across the sea, that's petroleum. Mm-hmm. So since energy prices have risen as far as gas, mm-hmm. then that means that the manufacturers have increased costs, and they're not going to hold that. They're going to pass it on to the consumers.
Now, I know prices on gas rose considerably, but they've softened some. Do you temporarily?
Things are going to go up more, mm-hmm. because, and these aren't already there. It's in the pipeline. When something happens over in the Middle East, it doesn't hit the stores right away. That could take 4 months, 6 months, but it's coming. So the waves are basically the tsunami's already coming. Mm-hmm. The question is, has it shore yet? So maybe the sun's out, but it's coming. So people who are aware of what's going on are just repositioning. So if you have a good amount of money, and none of this is financial advice. I'm not giving you financial advice.
Right. No financial advice.
We're just talking. I'm just sharing my experience and my knowledge and my research, but I'm not a financial advisor. Always go see a professional financial advisor before you make your decisions, because they're trained to give you that guidance. But I just want to make you aware so you can ask better questions when you talk to your financial advisors. But a lot of people are saying gold. They're saying silver. They're saying commercial real estate, particularly multifamily properties and storage facilities. Those are things that are pretty stable.
Although the city of Atlanta has just put, or I know they're working on putting a moratorium on building more storage facilities,
right?
That type of thing, yeah.
So, but then I'm looking at the average person that works a job, that's living check to check, doesn't have a lot of discretionary capital, doesn't already own those assets. those are the ones that usually get hurt.
Right.
Because people make money during inflation because they own assets. And those assets go up in value with inflation. So like being in a boat. They just ride the tide. When the tide rises, their net worth rises.
So is that what Trump meant when he said, I love inflation, or I like inflation,
Absolutely,
whatever it is?
absolutely. Him, Robert Kiyosaki, most people are aware they're going to make a lot of money during this inflation. The folks that are losing money are the ones that basically don't have boats, don't have assets, because that makes their wages go not by as much. So they're actually having to tighten their budgets, and how much can you tighten your budget before it starts to really hurt?
Now, I want you to treat me like a 6-year-old in this. We use terms and we take them for granted, but not everybody may not know what those terms mean. What is an asset?
An asset is usually a physical item that you talk about a house, not a car. I mean, a car to me is more of a liability.
But couldn't a house be a liability as well?
House a home is a liability, but it's still an asset. But it's not an asset in the sense of making you money. It's just an asset that goes in value with inflation. So that helps the person who owns a home, because let's say you have a home that's worth $500,000. Okay, so through whatever mechanism inflation goes up, now your house is worth $600,000. You still $500,000 on it, but it now has some equity in it. So that's how it helps the homeowner.
If you can tap into the equity.
Right. But the renter doesn't have that benefit.
Right.
They just have an expense. And it was not in their business name. They came right from their taxes. So that's the difference. So they're just basically, their money's not going as far. Things are more expensive. And that's how people got hurt during 2008. That's how it happens at every crash. That's how it happens.
So what are the things that, we talked about the occupancy level on commercial. Are there any other factors that are leading to this next?
Well, the major factor, those things make it challenging as far as the Fed chair and the president and the administration. The real thing we're looking at is in the world market, there's BRICS that is competing to get that, with the reserve currency, they want that changed.
So, tell people, what is the reserve currency?
Oil, and this is changing too, because there's the petrodollar deal.
Petrodollar, right.
See, we were on the gold standard until Nixon took us off in 1971, I believe. And then from there, he cut the petrodollar deal with Saudi Arabia that said all oil will be priced in U.S. dollars. So everybody had to buy dollars, buy treasuries in order to be able to
purchase oil.
Buy oil. Everybody needs oil. That deal just ended with the Middle East.
But didn't that also bolster United States clout that
Well, absolutely. The credit that we run up was because we were the reserve currency. We still are. So right now, what the administration is attempting to do is maintain that reserve currency status. But it's a battle. They need to deal with the U.S. debt to basically help us strengthen the country and keep that position. So that's what they have to focus on, that debt, and in making that debt better for the country, they're going to have to ramp up inflation. The only other alternative would be organic growth, and that's not there right now. Right. So that's why the AI revolution is to help increase production, and then you have what was the other one? And then what they call it quantitative easing, which prints
what
cash.
Is that?
Quantitative easing. Where they print money. So it's not a little different this time, but the same end result. They have to kind of inflate the economy to deal with the national debt.
Because if they're just printing money, then that basically is paper, or
yeah, but it's still, the inflation still helps all assets. The United States is an asset as a corporation with assets as well, so it still changes the balance sheet on the United States. For instance, we talked about a house. Let's say the house is $500,000. It inflates the price to $600,000. Well, the economy is the same way. We have a certain debt. It has a certain loan to value ratio.
right.
So if the economy becomes bigger, then you have what we say equity. The loan to value is not the same anymore.
Right.
It's better on the books.
On the books.
On the books. So I see we look at people's buying treasuries around the world. They're looking at the strength of the country, the balance of the country, so the debt is not as much of an issue.
We're getting some feedback, Lawrence, on his mic. Yeah, okay.
So that's what we're looking at. So they have to balance the books on the economy better. They have a plan to do that. They're doing that. People who have assets are going to benefit from that, and it's going to increase their net worth, and they'll make money.
Right.
But people that don't, that's the ones I'm really addressing today.
Well, that's the majority of the people.
Correct. And so that comes back to the metaphysics, because there's no shortage of opportunities. There's lots and lots of opportunities. But if you don't resonate with a wealth consciousness, a wealth vibration, you won't see them. They'll just pass you right by, or you'll see them and not recognize them. So you're not moving on them because you don't see them. That's the concern I have with most people. They can easily change their consciousness from poverty to wealth. And it's not their fault. I mean, they've been conditioned with this since birth or before birth, even in the womb. The environment was conditioning to this. So that's just the reality of where they are. Not their fault, but it's their responsibility to address it and not be a victim.
Right. So how do you break through that conditioning, that programming, if you will?
Well, there's lots of techniques. The most common one is just straight affirmations. And over time, they work. Depends on
what is an affirmation? And again, I'm going back to primer level.
Okay. From a Christian point of view, they would say, claim it. When you pray, claim it like it's already true. And that's basically what an affirmation is. Whatever you want, you don't really ask, beg, you claim it, you state it's true. The issue with affirmations for some people is that you have we'll say two, let's go with two, I want to go into detail. The two levels of the mind, conscious mind and subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is where the power resides. And that connects with the superconscious mind, the God mind, the Christ consciousness. Your conscious mind is the filter. It's also the guard at the gate. Its job is to not let things in that are contrary to what you need to be doing. So you can say, I'm wealthy, I'm prosperous, whatever. If it doesn't get to the subconscious, you might as well be throwing seeds on concrete. They're not going to do anything. So unless you learn how to meditate, or you practice your prayer a lot, when you get into what they call alpha state, then that's when the affirmations they take.
Now, what is alpha state?
Alpha state, when you go to, I'll describe it this way. A lot of people say do affirmations first thing in the morning. You do them last night before you go to bed. What happens is, when you're conscious, you're in beta. We're in waking beta state now as we're talking. When you get drowsy, sleepy, you go into alpha. Then you go into a deeper state, into theta. And then the final state is delta, when you're actually asleep. So every time you go to sleep, you have to pass through alpha and theta, the programming states, to get to delta. When you wake up, you come back delta, theta, alpha to beta. So those are the times most people easily get it in. That's why they do it those times.
So what you're actually talking about are wave frequencies.
In the brain, exactly. When the neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to absorb new programming, is at its height.
So in the alpha state, is the brain more active or is it slower? What's the
slower. And same thing with the theta, it's getting slower. When you say active, it's kind of just switching over because it's active in a certain way. You're actually very active at night when you're asleep, but it's not like you're physically relaxing, so you can flow better.
Okay. So can you only get into alpha? Well, you just said that with the affirmations that can bring you into alpha as well.
Well, you want to put them in while you're in alpha. While you're in alpha state, which is when you get sleepy, you argue a little bit, not tired, but just when you go to bed, you're going into alpha. They'll go in when you put them in. Same thing when you're waking up. You wake up before you really start your day, do your affirmations. You're probably still in alpha for a little bit. Now hypnosis does it, which is just going the same state when you go into hypnosis. A lot of people that scares a lot of people to think about control. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis, but hypnosis is a common thing you go into. It's called a hypnagogic state. When you're driving down the highway, 95% of the time your life's being run by your subconscious mind.
Right.
So you drive down the highway. You don't remember passing 2 exits, but you still get to your destination because your subconscious mind was driving the car. That's your habit mind, and And that's the one when you're learning how to drive, you're conscious.
The conscious, right.
Okay, do I do to press the gas or the brakes? How do I shift the gears? What should I be focused? You're putting the program in. You're getting it in. Once you get to the point where it's second nature, now your subconscious takes over, and that's how every habit in your life works.
Right. Conscious competency to unconscious competency.
Exactly. So your subconscious is running your life based on the program it received previously. But if that program is poverty, if that program is money don't grow on trees, life is hard to be rich, everybody rich is crooked, if those are the things going around or they're all immoral, if those are your belief systems, then the subconscious mind's like, well, we have to reject everything that has to do with money because it's not towards the best interest. Now, this is subconsciously, not consciously. Right. Consciously, you want the money. Right. Consciously, you're putting the effort out. But if you haven't reconditioned the subconscious, which is running your life most of the time, which is the reflex part of you, then you're just going to, what is the acronym for POUR? Passing over opportunities regularly.
Passing over opportunities regularly. POOR.
Because the same opportunities are presented to both people, the one with a poverty consciousness and wealth consciousness. Whereas in a poverty consciousness, the one that says, nah, I'm not going to do that. Nah, I don't trust that. Nah, I'm not going to do that. And they're just passing things up. And then when they do pick something, it's something where they lose money. Because the subconscious is like, see, there you need to not get rich anyway. You keep pushing the envelope, so I'm just going to sabotage your efforts and make you pick a loser instead of a winner.
Gotcha.
Still the subconscious running the show is attempting to protect you. Because you said money is bad. Being rich is bad. That's the belief it has. That's your inner child. It doesn't really discern, per se. That's why a child cannot tell the difference between when they're really small, whether it's Barney for real or Mickey Mouse, or whether it's a person in a suit. We know it's a person in a suit.
Right.
For them, it's a real person. So that's why you can watch a movie and cry, even though you know that it's really just a movie. But the inner child's like, that person's hurting. I need, it's sad. So that's the part of the mind that has the power. That's why in the Bible it says become as a child. Into the subconscious mind and talk to it simply, and that's the access to the superconscious, the Christ mind. Okay. And that's where the power resides.
So this programming, is that then incidental or intentional?
Would you mean the programming that most people have?
Right, the poverty programming, right.
I think it served the purpose of the people that basically operate society. It wasn't so much the program for poverty. In fact, when the industrial age came out, and then the information age with the computer, they needed good workers. So they basically structured things to condition people to be good workers and go into corporations and jobs and do those tasks. And that's made the economy grow. But now we're changing the economy. We're moving into a different era of
information.
Exactly. But so like with AI, certain jobs are being eliminated. Other jobs will come out of it. Not like eliminating all jobs, but people need to transition their process and think differently and move differently. But when you have a prosperity consciousness, you ride the wave. I look at things as frequencies. Wealth is a frequency, and poverty is a frequency. So if you're tuned into the frequency of wealth, then you're going to find yourself automatically, unconsciously making decisions that make you money. And if you're not, you're on a poverty conscious, you're going to unconsciously, automatically make decisions that keep you poor. It's not a conscious thought thing. It's not about physical effort. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about the degree you have. It's just the programming. So whether you have a PhD or whether you're a farmer that is illiterate, if you have the wealth consciousness, you're going to make money. And if you don't, you'll make it and lose it, or you won't make it at all.
So we're entering a time when lots of folks potentially have the opportunity to lose the little that they have. The Bible says those that have will get more, and those have not will be taken away from them.
Because in the news, you see fear all the time. They're talking bad numbers. So those things are, and then you get negative emotions around those because a thought amplified by emotion is more powerful. So yeah, you need to consciously change your programming by whatever means you choose to do it. That's why we have the wheel of abundance that I devise. It's an ancient symbol, but I just how would I say, modified a little bit.
Tell me a little bit more, our folks, more about the wheel of abundance.
Well, basically, there's programming in words, but our subconscious really thinks in pictures. If I say pink elephant, you're going to imagine a pink elephant. If I use a word that you have no clue what it means, it just doesn't really register because I have no visual for that. So, and then there are symbols that are universal, like a cross is a universal symbol. It's been around before Christianity there was a cross. Candle, colors are the same way. Colors, which is that spectrum of light, white light, you break up the spectrum. Those are the universal things that our subconscious mind recognizes, regardless of what your conscious mind may think. You want people to be calm, even with the clothes you wear. You want someone to be calm, like you would, let's say, wear a baby blue. It was a calming color. Whereas red is going to be a more exciting color. A woman knows if she wants to get that guy's attention, put on a red dress, it's going to be a little more focused on getting with her. So it's the same thing. Our unconscious does that, whether we are conscious of it or not.
Okay.
So our symbols, I know universal symbols, they represent certain things. Wealth has a symbol to it. For instance, the dollar sign, which originally had two vertical lines. That's a symbol that is recognized by the subconscious mind to mean money.
What's the difference between the dollar sign with one line or two lines?
The ancient symbol was really a symbol for Mercury. Because people like to think astrology, they don't understand quite what astrology is. Astrology is a mapping of the solar system. It's a mapping of where microcosm, macrocosm. So the magnetic forces that are hitting the planet at a given point in time tend to shape what's happening. In the same way, the seasons are shaped by the orbit of the moon, or the orbit of the sun, and the earth, and how they interact. That affects, so you're born at a certain time, gives you a certain imprint, which follows you all your life. But these symbols, we'll say astrology symbols, also represent the names of God, like Elohim versus Shaddai. Those are different chakras. The 7 musical notes, the 7 colors. It's all the same. All the different words, but it's the same system. It's a chakra system. Macrocosm, microcosm. And we are made in God's image. We made the image of the whole universe, which is why it resonates that way.
As above, so below.
Right. So if you want to emphasize the wealth, you can do a Jupiter symbol, which is wealth. As opposed to using the word "I am wealthy," you can meditate on a Jupiter symbol. It'll do the same thing.
What is the Jupiter symbol in terms of the
It looks almost
astrological?
It looks almost like a 4.
Okay.
And then I think we did with our dollar sign being Mercury. Mercury rules commerce. So that's why you do a Mercury. That's why it's more for money, whereas Jupiter's wealth. Just plain money is more Mercury.
How do you define wealth?
Wealth is things like assets. You can have cash flow, not have assets. So cash flow is more like Mercury.
Transaction.
The buying and selling of goods, the exchange of things, that's more commerce. That's more Mercury. Communication is Mercury. But wealth is like assets you hold.
Mercury is Tahuti.
Because you can have assets and not have cash flow. People have negative, apartment complexes where they own the asset, but they've committed some occupancy. They're not really making any money over and above paying the mortgage. So there are 2 different types of energy. You need both. But saying most people know that Venus is symbol for love and for female. They know Mars is symbol for man. It's also symbol for war. These are all universal symbols. So I like using the symbols because symbols don't get filtered out.
That was John Gray's book, Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars.
Correct. Because words, you can say I'm wealthy, and your conscious mind can block it. Whereas you use a symbol, the conscious mind doesn't block that.
There's no filter then.
It goes straight in. It does what it's supposed to do. That's why they use they are saying your environment stronger than will. Because your subconscious mind is never asleep. It's going 24/7. When you're asleep, it's wide awake. That's why people really should not go see what the television on. Because then there's no conscious filter.
No control as to what's coming in.
It's going straight in.
Okay.
But in any case, so we use these symbols to just flash to your subconscious, and they cause change in your life because the mind just reproduces what it gets. The subconscious mind takes it in and it mirrors it back to you as your reality.
Okay. So, focusing on the wheel of abundance, how is it actually applied? What techniques are used to get people to actually focus on those symbols?
You can give good lighting because it's in glossy color for a reason. Like you look at a light bulb for a few minutes, and then you look away, you're gonna keep seeing the light bulb flash.
Right.
So bright colors and light do something similar. So the symbols have certain colors to them. They are universal symbols. Just staring at them, they absorb. But if you want a faster result, you want to combine a few things together. So the first in the center is an Om symbol. It's the sound of the whole, all the sounds of the universe, all together make the sound Om. So that centers you, it balances you, and it gets your life force flowing. Okay. Then from there, you look at the symbols. So it's opening up your chakras across the board. It's almost like white light. So then the symbols go in. Then it has affirmation around the wheel. It has spokes, and the spokes have words like wealth, which are vibrational words. And so you're just putting all that in a manner, and because it's a wheel, into your mind, it knows that it's moving. So you're spinning those things into your life. So I tell people 10 minutes a day, minimum, twice a day, and that's going to be enough to move you forward. Because the negative program that we talked about last week never goes away. But the question of what's dominant. So these symbols are more dominant than a personal belief. They're universal, and they align you with those frequencies.
Okay.
If we're talking, that's personal, right?
Right.
Somebody blasts the radio in the background while we're talking, it'll drown that out.
Right.
So these symbols are going to kind of drown out the other lesser, I would say lower vibration, because power is a lower vibration than the wealth vibration.
Okay.
So it's going to just dominate. Once it does it enough, it's resetting those beliefs, it's breaking through and resetting things and causing those changes in your life.
Now, I know you created the Wheel of Abundance, and it's a tool, but I also know from conversations with you that you see it as more than just something for personal elevation, personal prosperity. You think it also has the potential to elevate the consciousness in total.
A couple of things. When we talked about programming, where a lot of people have challenges with it, where they're trying things, doing things, and not working because they're not really getting the breakthrough to the subconscious. They're more still in the conscious mind, or it's not what they're doing is strong enough to overcome the negative things that are going on in their environment or in their mind. So I designed it because I taught classes, on a small scale for quite some time, and students that sometimes weren't getting results I wanted to see. I wanted to be more effective what they were, the results they were getting. So I basically, nothing is new in this space as far as metaphysics. All this is ancient knowledge. So I modify a wheel, but this is not like it's my total invention. All this stuff existed thousands of years ago, if not longer than that. So I modified it where it's quick as far as bringing results, easy to use, 10 minutes a day, twice a day. Within a couple of weeks, you're seeing results. That's all it takes. No added things to buy other than the wheel itself. You don't need any extra tools to go with it, and it's durable. It'll last forever. You can wheel it to your grandkids because it's not going to do anything. Not going to break down. So they use it at home. They can take it with them. The more you look at it, the more you read the affirmations and read the affirmation around the wheel, and all that merged together in your conscious, the faster the results. But I mentioned earlier about the national debt,
right?
And why they almost have to do the AI thing to ramp up production, and even though it's not human production, it's still production. And then we'll call it quantitative easing with the money, because the organic growth is not what it really could be. We'd like it to be. But in our different generation, we had the baby boomers that went into basically physical jobs.
Right.
So they produced enough, labor and gross domestic product increase to kind of offset what they would need to do with the debt. Here, they're having to do some other things to offset the fact that productivity is not what they would like it to be, or what they need it to be. So the wheel will make individuals who use it create more wealth.
Okay.
So if enough people did it, I think we can make a dent in the gross domestic product. And that would make it easier for everybody. Because what you're doing is you're taking your individual economy and you're expanding and growing that with your life force energy.
So Sister Halima asked, what are you referring to, Mr. Chris? I guess he's asking about the wheel, but you're explaining that now.
It's just a rapid tool. It's a tool for rapid reprogramming of wealth consciousness.
Okay.
It's faster, and it doesn't take the practice. A lot of people have to practice visualization. They have to practice how to get the affirmations right, how to be feeling with them. See it and not doubt it. It's challenging to affirm you're wealthy, and then as soon as you turn around, you're paying bills.
You're confronted by
the reality of the situation.
Right.
So you need something that's going to be stronger than that to overcome it. And it's a tool. It's like training wheels. It's something you use to get to the point where you're adept at knowing that. Because until you manifest something, it's not really real to most people. You need to have the experience. And then once you've manifested some things, you're like, okay, this stuff actually works. I heard it worked. It worked for so-and-so. But now as a personal experience, you have that memory of this actually worked for me.
So back in a few decades back, there was a big hoopla around the law of attraction, The Secret. So is this like a part of that type of thinking or technology?
You could say that. But to me, it goes back a lot further. This is Old Testament stuff that we're talking about. They've been using this stuff in the priesthood for millennia. So,
So what other tools can people employ? I know there's a link in there that if they want a wheel of abundance, there's a link.
I recommend that because it's only like $50. It's really, really inexpensive. And they just work with that, and then they'll manifest more money. That should be affordable to most people. So they manifest that, and they can graduate up to other things beyond that.
So with this impending crisis, a perceptional crisis, many people say, well, I can save my way out of it. Is that something that can actually happen? Can you save your way out of this, and why or why not?
Because the dollar is constantly losing purchasing power. It's a depreciating asset. You're saving something that's losing value. Most wealthy people use money to buy assets. Let's say the person goes to the bank. They borrow a loan for a mortgage. Then they buy an investment property. They're not just holding cash. They're making the cash work for them to get assets. So you're just holding cash, you're losing money.
Okay.
You're literally just vanishing before your eyes over time.
What about investing?
I'm pro-investing, yes, but smart investing. A lot of people don't know how to invest. They're basically speculating.
Gambling.
Yeah, gambling. Just like stocks, for instance. I mean, they're great to grow wealth if you know what you're doing. But the market goes up and it goes down.
Right.
And different industries go up and go down. So it goes back to consciousness. You have a poverty consciousness. See, the thing about the consciousness is not just what you think, it's what you vibrate. Your consciousness determines your vibration. Birds of a feather flock together. So when you have a wealth consciousness, you find yourself automatically meeting other people with the same consciousness who share certain information, ideas, which makes you more astute. Like if you're in sports and you're focused on sports, and you're literally working out and training, you're around other athletes that are also training, and you're sharing knowledge.
That level of competition, right?
Let's say a steel sharpens steel, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same kind of thing. So the conscious is important because you do need to get the actual practical, thinking about it, the focusing of the thoughts is important.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the start. There still has to be that physical side of it. You can't just sit in a cave and think prosperity and expect it's going to happen. Usually what happens is you get inspired action, which motivates you to do things that lead to the end result. That's important as well. A lot of people think, like, you want to win the lottery, that's not the route I take, but if you want to win the lottery, you can't just do the programming and not buy the ticket. Buy the ticket.
Got to be in it to win it.
Exactly.
So what kinds of things, again, I want to give these people some practical things as they see this approaching. Getting the wheel of abundance is one thing. Again, we have a link in there for you can get it, but what other things can people bring into their lives to actually change or that frequency, to elevate their frequency so that they are resonating on that level of wealth?
Okay, a couple of things. What I personally like, I like it for a number of reasons. Like I said, this is not financial advice. You talk to your financial advisors, do your own due diligence. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just sharing information. But there's one called Polar Tensor I personally like.
Polar Tensor?
Polar Tensor, which I personally like.
And what is Polar Tensor?
It's an AI trading platform.
So the AI makes the trades for the person?
Yes, it can be passive. They do have an affiliate program if you choose to go that route. But also, if you just do it passively, yes, it trades for you.
How do you spell that?
Polar, one word, and Tensor, Tensor.
Polar Tensor, Polar Tensor. And is that an app or website or what is that?
They have an app, but it's also it's a company. They're based out of Hong Kong. The guy that's founded it, he's German. He has a very extensive background as a private banker and in computer learning. He was part of one of the largest logistic companies in Southeast Asia. So he just has that background. It's only been available to the public for a few months. I think it's like February.
Okay.
But there's 10 years of history behind what made this happen. So it's very well put together. They're very transparent. I always like them. And I say that because the buy-in is so low. Now, there's no guarantees with it. They tell you.
What's the buy-in?
The minimum, you have to have $100 in your trading account. So there are fees you're going to pay along the way. Usually they do a deal in crypto. So you might put up on 120.
So you said it's dealing in crypto?
In crypto.
So
in, crypto
are
out.
they doing any stocks or EFTs or any of that?
Nope, crypto in, crypto out. They're using crypto as their currency of operation.
Okay, is that, well, I guess it seems like when we say crypto, you're not speaking specifically about any particular one cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin or anything like that. But
they use mostly USDT, but they do accept other coins like a Bitcoin or Ethereum.
What is USDT?
When I think of USDT, I don't remember what the name for it is, but it's pegged to the dollar. USDT does not go up or down in value. Like Bitcoin can go up.
Right.
It can drop down.
Right.
USDT is what they call a stable coin.
Okay.
It stays pegged to the dollar. What the dollar's doing that's what it's a digital dollar for all practical purposes.
So what's the benefit of having one that does it? I thought that was the whole thing, that you were buying it in the expectation of it going up, so you made money from it.
It's more of a transacting coin. If you have USDT, for instance, another person can accept USDT, you can send the money in seconds, literally seconds, and the fees are minimum or a platform user. Whereas through the bank wire, the bank fees, it's going overseas, the clearing time. So it's catching on because it's just faster and more efficient way to transact money. So the whole world is going crypto. That is happening.
So,
I expect the dollar to be digital.
so that's decentralization.
Yes.
So, but
there's both. There's both. There's centralized and decentralized. There's
okay.
both.
Because again, I thought the benefit of crypto in general was that it wasn't tied to a government, a country, that it wasn't fiat currency. That
Well, it's private. It is private. This is not the government. It's private. But it's pegged to the dollar to make it stable. So you know that if you have 100 USDT today, you have 100 USDT tomorrow. It's not going to drop. Other than what the dollar does worldwide, that's what it does. People use it because they can settle transactions faster.
Okay. Now, what are the dangers of that, though? With everything that looks rosy and good, there are also some inherent...
You mean Polar Tensor or USDT?
No, USDT.
The danger? Well, you got to know what you're doing because it's a new way of sending money for most people. Make sure you get the right wallet. I do like the fact that it's on the blockchain, which is the ledger. It's a mutable ledger. So everything is transparent. But by the same token, if you send the wrong currency to the wrong address, it can go poof.
Right.
Then it's gone. So you just have the first few times you do it, make sure you have some guidance.
Well, I was really wondering about, because I've heard a lot about a move to a digital dollar, that was a negative thing in terms of being able to control your money.
But that's a CBDC. That's a central bank digital coin.
A CBDC?
Yeah. Which
Central
is not,
bank digital coin.
right. Digital
Now, what's the
currency.
difference?
That's made by the government, issued by the government, controlled by the government. It's really a bank dollar digitized. 'Cause everything's going digital in the sense that we used to use gold.
Right,
Then we started moving cash.
right.
And from cash, we went to checks.
Mm-hmm.
And from checks went to debit cards.
Right.
Now we have systems like Cash App and PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all, evolutions of how money is transferred.
Right.
The next step
'Cause most
is
of us never see cash anymore anyway.
right, correct. And most things aren't done in cash. And even when banks transact with each other, the wires are digital.
Right.
So now they're just going digital with the currency because it's just more efficient. So that's happening. It's already being phased in. That's happening as we speak.
Now, what are the pitfalls of the government digital currency?
But most people's concern is privacy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a philosophical discussion because I don't think there's any privacy anyway.
There's an illusion of
I
privacy.
think the privacy is an illusion
Right.
because they're going to manage things in the society. They're going to have the intel.
Because as soon as you apply for anything, your data is out there.
Everywhere, right?
Right.
So that's not a fear that I have about the government control because it's already there.
Mm-hmm. Now back to this whole poverty mindset. How can someone determine or sort of self-analyze and see, I think I have a poverty mindset?
It's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Your life
Uh-huh.
is a reflection of your belief system.
Mm-hmm.
You have the thoughts which you can't see, and you see your physical environment you do see. Anything in your world you perceive is a belief.
Mm-hmm.
So look at your life. And in what areas is it where you want it to be? What areas is it not where you want it to be? Or what areas is it moving in the right direction? Where do you feel it's getting worse? Those are the areas you look at. It's just your life. When you change your thoughts, you change your perception of life.
And that is, in essence, what this conversation, all the conversations we'll have here on the Alkemystic Mind are about. And that's about transformation, transcendence. How do we move from one state to another?
Right.
Whether that is with your health, your wealth, your relationships or whatever.
And I'm gonna go a little bit off topic, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to understand the macro, what's happening.
Okay.
I'm not talking the economy. I'm talking about spiritual.
Okay.
The Mayan calendar is 25,000 years for one cycle.
Right.
We think a year, 365 days,
Right.
a cycle. In their calendar, it's 25,000 years.
Right.
Then we have what we call ages or eons.
And that's 26,000 years.
We always are 20. That's a little over 2,000. Yeah.
Right.
Not 26,000. Like
2,600.
2,600
Yeah, 2,600.
approximately.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the Bible during the time of Moses,
Right.
that was the age of the ram,
Right.
Aries.
Right.
And then
Ram in the bush.
from there, because it goes backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So from the ram went to Pisces,
Pisces, the fish.
the fish, which is why you see Jesus portrayed as two fish,
Right.
Piscean age.
Right.
And then now it's moving going to go from Piscean to the Aquarian age.
The water bearer.
I think it hits around, don't quote me on this, I think it's around 2150.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're just moving towards it. A lot of people say, okay, 50 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
if you got to college, you got a degree,
Mm-hmm.
the job was pretty much you get
Right.
one company and stay there for 40 years and retire.
Right.
Your insurance policy basically covered most things. Your
Pension.
one person's
Mm-hmm.
income support the household.
Right.
And you didn't because you weren't concerned about your doctor and your personal relationship with your doctor looking after your health.
Right.
All that's changed
Right.
because society is causing us to be more spiritual and to have more of a spiritual basis for. You could actually in that culture I just talked about
Mm-hmm.
be an atheist.
Mm-hmm.
You just go through the motion,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as you're doing the right societal things,
Mm-hmm.
society has you covered.
Okay.
Now, if you don't learn how to create your own reality,
Mm.
then you're really out of sync with the higher vibration of Mother Earth,
Okay.
the whole planet, where things are going. That's why things are getting faster. Everything's speeding up.
Gotcha.
That's why having gold got outdated. I mean, gold is still a good investment, in my opinion. Not advice, but in my opinion. But to transact with it is too limiting.
Right.
So then you have the physical dollar. Then you have the credit card. They're all faster ways of moving things. Even adoption of technologies is just faster now.
Well, some people say that actually money itself is going to be, that there won't even be a need for that.
It's possible. But in the meantime, as far as people's day-to-day, to understand that things are not out of control. It's about understanding what the bigger picture is. So it's a question of, it's not a question whether you need to do these things. It's a question of, are you going to be ahead of the curve, in the middle of the whole thing, or following on the tail end? And the people that basically prosper are the ones that are on the leading edge of it. Instead of being reactive, they're being proactive.
Now, we've talked a lot about the upper end and that K shape. We got the bottom end. What about the folks in the middle?
Depends on what let's say a person's working a job. Depends on what they did with their income. Because not how much money you make, it's what you do with the money you make. How much you keep. I tell people that are just starting out something simple. And it's a negative thing for a lot of people to think about, but it actually has benefit. Network marketing.
Oh, network marketing.
Network marketing. Because the stats are that most people don't make money for at least a while. They don't just jump in it and they start making money.
Right.
It takes them years to make money.
Right.
What they're not understanding is that businesses have tax laws.
Right.
Or in general, the economy has tax laws. And tax laws favor entrepreneurship and business. So a big business, Fortune 500 company, and a small individual entrepreneur have the same tax benefits potentially available to them.
Right.
So when you do network marketing, and you are constantly seriously pitching, running it like a business.
So those are business expenses.
And documenting everything the way you're supposed to. You can't just play at it, but you're really being serious about it. One, you're learning sales skills over time. But two, you're getting tax deductions. That helps you in terms of what you keep in terms of your money.
Right.
I mean, you need to be doing it to make money, right? With the intention of not playing at it. But your deductions in your business, let's say you operate a loss. Those losses help offset job income.
Now, I've tried network marketing, just about everything, from, the old ones back in the day. You're selling soap and you're selling stuff and vitamins and all these sorts of things.
Right.
Lots of things that you don't really have a whole lot of investment in.
Right.
So I guess it all depends on the nature of the network
But all that's
marketing.
tax deductible. So, like in me, I'm not going to name any companies, but it's one I'm in, and they deal with a lot of common household goods, soap and toothpaste and things like that, right? I use that anyway. Why wouldn't I want to just, if it's a requirement of the company, why wouldn't I want to use it in a business sense and have that as a legitimate business expense?
Okay.
So
I know Robert Kiyosaki, he's big on network marketing. Some folks,
Right.
it's almost like when we talked about last time the word occult.
Yeah.
It has a negative
Connotation.
connotation associated with it. But when you look at it, just about every business is actually network marketing in some way or another.
Right. It's networking at the very least, yeah.
Right. Because, even real estate, which I do, real estate, that's
Right.
the broker is at the head of it. They got all the agents working under. And so that money sort of funnels up.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
So,
So a couple of things.
Okay.
So just, I said none of this is advice. I'm not
Right.
giving any kind of legal or financial advice. Just sharing my perspective, my personal point of view. I definitely do my programming. That's important. Because that helps me create opportunities and see opportunities and respond appropriately to opportunities. And then polar tendency is what I like because the buy-in is very low.
what typically are the returns with like a polar
Again-
tensor? I
again,
know, like
they
if
don't-
I get a index, I'm going to average around 8% or something like that return.
I'm going to let people.
Sometimes even more, but yeah.
Other people, I don't know if they want to find it on their own because if I said it out loud now, a lot of people are like, they just dismiss it because it's so.
But I mean, just based off of your experience.
I mean, my experience has been, better than most things pay a month is paying a week. Definitely a lot more than we would pay in a year. The reason the other reason I brought it up is because when it comes to going forward as opposed to sliding backwards during this inflationary period, it's about having your income and assets exceed the rate of inflation.
Right.
If you're slower than the rate of inflation or less than the rate of inflation, you're losing.
Right.
So I like polar tendency because they're definitely paying well above the rate of inflation.
Okay.
So that allows you to get ahead. But again, no promises. They don't guarantee anything. They just
No investment can be a promise.
they're just saying historically,
Right.
this is what their track record, and if you project that forward, this is the potential return. But understand, any investment you can lose your money.
Okay.
So, but I like their structure. I like the way the company is set up. I like the transparency. So it's a risk I'm personally willing to take.
So you see that as a hedge against what you see as the economic times that are coming.
One hedge, but I don't believe in having one strategy. Period. Even Robert Allen, who made the book Nothing Down, one of the first about Nothing Down, he said you want to have at least 7 streams of income.
7 streams of income.
At least most wealthy people have at least 7 streams of income.
What typically are some of those streams?
Well, usually just stocks and bonds tend to be one of them. They have real estate. Owning businesses.
Owning your business, okay.
Multiple businesses.
Okay.
Annuities. Insurance policies worked a certain way.
So I guess that MLM is one of them, or is that part of one of those other streams?
Sometimes it's just a business you own. It's a business you own, but
so it would be a part of the business stream.
But when I look at it, not so much, because you go back to Robert Kiyosaki,
Right.
and his 4 quadrants. He looks at it a little differently. I can tend to agree with him. The top left quadrant is the employee that just works a job.
Right.
Okay? Hour time for money.
Right. Worker bee.
The bottom is you want to be on the right side of the equation. On the left side of the equation, at the bottom, you have the professional, the lawyer, doctor, whatever, where they can't walk away. The business doesn't run without them.
Right. It's a job that they're tethered to.
It's a job that they own, but it's still a job.
High paying.
Right.
A lot of prestige.
Right. And those two on the left side get the highest tax burden. So on the right side, the top right corner, you have the business. That's a business where you actually can be passive somewhat because the employees are running it.
Right. I can go on vacation.
Right. And whereas then the bottom right is the investor, where your money's working for you. So that's where you want to be. You want your time freedom back.
So you want to be in the business or the investor or the
investor?
investor?
Both. You
Both.
do both.
Okay.
Both, yeah.
Okay. So that is
Because-
what ultimately frees you up.
Yes.
So basically, that's what we're all sort of searching for, is that freedom to do what we want, when we want, with who we want, for how long we want.
But it starts with the programming.
Uh-huh.
Until you create it in your subconscious mind.
That you could actually achieve that.
You program, not you can, that you have.
That I have already.
The subconscious mind just reflects back to you what it already believes to be true.
Okay.
That's why you claim it, because then you're letting your subconscious mind do it. Once it accepts that it's true, then it has access to God mind, Christ consciousness, universal consciousness, super consciousness, and it just makes sure everything will line up with the belief.
So it's almost like a reverse engineering, that you have the result in mind, and then all those things sort of line up to bring you that result.
You create the future by projecting it, and it draws you to it. So you say, I am such and such, then it starts moving you in that direction.
I am.
You change the I am to something else, then it's like a train track. It's like a shift in the track. It shifts your trajectory, and you start moving in that direction.
Okay.
So when you control your direction by what you claim to be true, and what you reinforce to the point where it's the dominant thought process.
Now, if anyone wanted to work with you on some of this stuff, how would they go about reaching you?
Right now, I'm having a consulting. I mean, I do consulting on a different level for high-end businesses, raising capital. We talk about larger deals, million like is the minimum. But I'm starting a consulting thing for the average person to teach them how. I'm looking at classes as well. Teach them how to basically start from nothing and build to whatever they want to build to. Because where you are doesn't really matter. It's not about your education. It's not about your credit. Those things all help. At the end of the day, you're infinitely creative. Once you tap power in the system, then it just takes you where you program it to go. It is considered a biocomputer. And you just need to know how to program your own biocomputer.
Okay. So
No limits.
So we're bots. Hey.
Totally.
So again, how would they contact you?
My email is power, P-O-W-E-R, wealth, W-E-A-L-T-H, the number 4, @gmail.com. Now, I have a stand store, which is where they can get the
A
wheel.
what store?
It's called a stand store.
That's my store, stand store.
Basically.
Okay.
And you can get the
A
wheel
lot of
there.
people aren't up on stand stores yet. They know Shopify and they know
You
some
know,
of
Etsy and those. It's
They know
like
Etsy,
it's like
but-
those, but it really, I like it for entrepreneurs. It really caters to entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like it. But I have the Wheel of Abundance there. It has an affiliate program. So I tell people, get the wheel, use it,
Mm-hmm.
prove it for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then get paid to share it.
Okay,
But only after you proved it for yourself.
right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways you see people empowering themselves is
Yes.
by, once they actually see the transformation occurs, they can share that transformation, the possibility of it through an affiliate link,
Right.
and they in turn create another revenue stream for themselves.
Exactly.
One of those 7 is created.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that'll lead to other things because that's what the Wheel of Abundance does. It puts you in that frequency of opportunity.
The frequency of opportunity. I like that. That's what we need to all connect with, that frequency of opportunity. How are we doing on time, Lawrence? Okay, all righty.
Hello?
Are there any questions out here that anybody would want to put out to,
Somebody did put a question. I hope I answered it. So we've got a few minutes. If they ask me to say whether yes or we need more clarity.
Sister Halima, was your question answered? If you're still on, just let us know whether or not Brother Chris responded appropriately to your question and you got an answer for what you were seeking. If not, then,
Email me.
email, we gave that email, give it one more time.
Power, P-O-W-E-R,
Mm-hmm,
wealth, W-A-L-T-H,
mm-hmm,
the number 4,
uh-huh.
at gmail.com.
And I know you're in the process of reconstructing your website, so they can't go there just yet.
Not yet. No,
Right.
I'm restructuring that. Correct.
Okay, awesome. Brother Chris, it's been a pleasure having you back on again because
Pleasure to be here.
this brother has a wealth of information. We've only scratched the surface, so this won't be the last time that he's here. But I'm glad that he was able to help us bring in the first 2 episodes, at least, of this. And that's something that we have to be aware of what's coming, what's impending. I know I used to play Monopoly back in the day, and I sucked at it,
Okay.
basically, because, we get into that habit of we collect 200 when we go past go, whereas the ones who win, they actually start buying up some properties so that those who land on it start paying rent to them.
Correct.
So I guess that's the same thing that happens.
Oh, even for their children. Get the rich dad game.
Uh-huh.
Get
Cash flow.
cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, start children out young, teaching them about wealth and money. Don't wait till they already got the negative programming in place.
Cash flow is a great game. It's a board game for those who don't know or haven't heard of it. It's put out by Robert Kiyosaki.
That'd be a
Rich
great
Dad,
birthday or Christmas gift for any
age.
Yeah, exactly.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What I like about it is that it assigns you a profile. That you could be a janitor, you
Right.
earn $56,000 a year, but that janitor can end up winning the game. The object of the game is to have your passive income match your work, what you're
Right,
bringing
correct.
in from a
It's
job.
what you do with your money.
Right. So that's why the doctors, you could be a doctor, they give you a doctor, but
Right.
the human nature is as our income rises, our expenses rise with
Right.
it. So that the doctor may be making $300,000, but he has 2 kids in Ivy League colleges. He has a Bentley that he's paying for, a home that's $2 million. And so he
Right.
ends up losing the game because once he can't function as a doctor anymore, or something happens, and that's
Right.
the other thing that happens. They
Correct.
throw out some life events that he has not been able to react to, and he ends up
Exactly.
losing the game.
So back to the network marketing, you could actually use Polar Tensor in that way.
How would you use Polar Tensor in network
Well,
marketing?
2 things. One is an affiliate program.
Okay.
So, I'm doing, again, not financial advice.
Mm-hmm.
You can start for free. You don't even have to put money into it. If you sign some other people up, then you can capitalize your account that way. Cost you nothing.
So you sign them up. You don't get anything for signing them up, but only if they make a transaction.
Correct.
Okay.
But if you make that your business to share it and to attend the sessions of education and so forth, and you document that, that can become your business expense tax deduction. If you're literally seriously doing it, for real.
Yeah. I mean, it's
So now what you're doing is you're increasing your income based on the money you keep from your job. So it allows you to basically become more efficient with the money you make on the job because you now have a business.
Right.
And treat it like a business and get those, because the tax code, people say, oh, it's broken to be fixed. It's not broken.
It was set up for the specific purpose.
Exactly.
We're a corporation. The United
So if
States
you
is
learn
a
how it
corporation.
works and use it to your advantage, the wealthy understand how they spend a lot of their focus on minimizing taxes. Because if you compound your money paying taxes versus not paying taxes, the result is drastically different.
And that's why it's an income tax. And if you donate like Trump, he says, I'm not taking a salary. So technically, he has no income that he's paying a tax on, and that income tax. But he still has these assets that are gaining
and
wealth
they
and
tax that a little differently. Exactly.
Right.
A lot of your corporation CEOs, they're not looking for big raises. They want some more stock options.
Right.
As the company grows, they grow.
Interesting. So it's really reframing how we've all been taught all of our life. It's to work hard.
Yeah.
And that your hard work is going to pay off. But we see that the hardest working people were the ones who built this country. They were the enslaved, and that did not pay off.
I don't think, because I had this illusion when I was a lot younger. When I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, they showed like the Howells on Gilligan's Isle.
Right. Oh, yeah. Thurston Howell III.
Yeah. And the rich always were just enjoying themselves. They didn't work.
Right.
So I got a job at a car dealership when I was, 16? And the owner of the dealership, when they owned like the regular retail sales, at a used car lot, and their service department, he was fairly well to do. And he hired me personally to keep the grounds for the summer.
Okay.
He got on his knees and cleared a chain link fence, a section chain link fence, in front of all his customers, all his employees, and I was like, dumbfounded. So I thought Richie didn't work. Actually, I'm actually busier. I sometimes do 18-hour days, but it's not work because I enjoy what I do.
Right.
But it's also what we call inspired action, because the programming gives you opportunities that you want to pursue. You find to put the time in, but it's not drudgery. It's not work.
Right.
Controlling my own schedule.
Right.
So a lot of people who have money put in long hours.
It's just a redefinition of what they're doing.
Exactly. So when they're playing golf, they're negotiating.
They're
When on
talking
the
deals.
yacht, when they take a family vacation, they still do some business. It's tax deductible. Everything they do is they're never not doing business, but they're still having fun, and they're doing it in a business-like manner. And when you have a CPA and a good banker and a good lawyer, they tell you how the system works and get those things done.
So those are the three that you need:
For starters.
a CPA, a banker, and a lawyer.
Yeah.
Good is the
Yeah.
adjectives on those,
Right.
right? Yeah.
That's for starters. And always be reading, going to seminars, taking courses, keep educating yourself. I think Warren Buffett said the best investment you can make is investment in yourself.
Okay.
It means constantly educate yourself and learn more, get financial literacy. Robert Kiyosaki said money transfers from the financially literate to the financially illiterate.
Okay.
What side of the equation you want to be on?
I've been on that other side too long, brother. So
Most people have.
yeah. So I'm glad
But
you
but
have.
you have the power to change it. You're not restricted by your credit, the job you have, the degree you have, the neighborhood you live in. None of that is really a hindrance if you understand how to program and create your reality and educate yourself. Especially now, internet. There's so much information available. But get with people that are doing things. But there's like an information overload on the internet. You know what's good, what's not.
Exactly.
So
How do you weed through it?
Get around people that are actually doing it,
Right.
and listen to people that are doing what you want, where you want to be. Listen to what they're doing.
Right. And that's what Kevin Trudeau says was in the first thing. Who do you listen to?
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's what mentoring really is. Mentoring is imitating the people around you that are doing what you want to do. That's how you learn when you're a child, how you learn to walk, talk, your dialect, eat. You're mimicking your parents, you're mimicking your elders, you're mimicking the people around you. That's how we naturally learn. So get around people that are successful. And they're easily accessible. Matter of fact, what's the guy's name? Onassis. He married Jackie Kennedy when she died, right? They asked him a question. They said,
Aristotle Onassis.
Aristotle Onassis, thank you. He said, if you lost all your money, there are lots of things that people tell you to do to get money. He said, what's the one most important thing you would do to get money? And he said, I would find where rich people hang out and congregate.
You find a what?
Where rich people hang out and congregate.
Okay.
And I would immerse myself in that environment some kind of way.
Okay.
And this is what he said. He said, in their environment, their vibration would wear off on me.
Okay.
Raise my vibration and bring me opportunities, and I manifest my money again.
Their vibration would raise your vibration.
Because they have a wealth
you
consciousness.
would synchronize.
You come to the company you keep.
Right. That's
Kevin
awesome.
Trudeau said your income is going to be the average of your 5 closest friends.
Mm-hmm. So you look around.
Yeah. Because it is vibration. It's energy.
So that, I think John Hope Bryant, he said something similar. He said if you have 10 friends who are broke, you're probably going to be the 11th. Yeah.
Because it's just challenging to overcome that environment unless you change your environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why I use the wheel. I used to go a step further, and I'll tell a quick story. I didn't do this on purpose. It's just part of my learning curve. When I was in college, I got an off-campus apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Just, being social with a guy I wanted to date and so forth. So I wanted to decorate my walls with something that was decent.
Mm-hmm.
So I got pictures of like 23 by whatever posters.
Poster size.
Yeah,
Right.
poster size
Mm-hmm.
of Paris, London,
The travel posters.
Hong Kong. I put those up.
Mm-hmm.
In a few years, I visited every one of those places.
Okay.
Because that was a manifestation. My subconscious mind, even when I wasn't thinking about it, took that environment in.
So that's the power of like people do vision boards. And that type of
Exactly.
thing.
So your environment, the color of your walls, the things on your wall, have things that represent where you want to be in life.
Mm-hmm.
If it's wealth and success, or if it's love or good health, have those things on your walls. Because when you're not thinking about it, your subconscious mind is still paying attention.
Okay.
I'd be careful.
Got a question here? Alima, which question was it? Because I can't see the last one. Yeah, it's not scrolling up for me. Just, let me see. Am I going the wrong way? No.
Down to the bottom.
Yep. Read it. Tell me what it is, and then we'll address it.
I'm in cryptocurrency at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Friend,
Uh-huh.
and others. We have a Zoom meeting daily at 9 p.m. Is that a good investment? I guess cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency. Well, and again, guess it all depends
Again,
on what. Yeah.
There are a lot of scams in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know what you're doing. The industry is a booming industry,
Right.
but it's not like it's without risk. So I'm going to be very straightforward. If she's willing to email me, email me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look at it.
Let them look at the group, and then you'll give them
I'll give her
an
honest
informed opinion on it.
Give my honest opinion. Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's not advice, just my opinion, because I've looked at a lot of things.
All investments are not made the same, and all crypto is not opportunities.
There's a lot of what
the
you
same.
call pump and dump type things in crypto. People put their money in, but it's not really built.
Meme coins and so
it's
forth.
not sustainable.
Meme stock.
So what I look for is, the track record of the people that are behind it,
Mm-hmm.
their transparency, and is it sustainable?
Does it have inherent value?
Yeah,
Is it part of a system that they're going to build on that it
Exactly.
does something,
right.
as opposed to it's just like the
That's with anything. I mean,
Right.
real estate is a good investment,
right.
but people lose money in real estate too. They lose money in everything. Stocks.
I'm a real estate. I'm a realtor, so
So
yeah.
people make money in stocks and they lose money in stocks. So it's
Right.
not the industry. So the crypto is the industry. Nothing wrong with that.
Right. It's expanding and exploding.
But every deal requires due diligence.
Right.
If you don't know how to do that, you need to have somebody else who does know, vet it. Don't just gamble. Warren Buffett's first rule of investing, don't lose money.
Right.
Second rule of investing, don't forget the first rule. So it's about protecting what you have first and foremost. So you lose money, now you have to make up for the loss to even get back to break even.
Okay.
So be protective of your money.
All right. So hopefully that answered the question. It's that probably is a good thing because you're talking with other people who are trying to do what you're trying to do, but do your due diligence to see whether or not it makes sense, and also send Chris an email and have him check it out as well. He might end up joining your group. All right, well, that concludes. We're going to wrap up here today. We're thankful for Brother Chris Williams for being here one more time and sharing from his vast reservoir of knowledge.
Encourage them to send questions.
Send questions. Send them in. Put them in the comments. Even after this has gone, it's live now, but it's going to be archived. So you could always go back. And if there's something we didn't address, and if you think of something later on, go back and just put it in the comments, and then we'll come back to it.
and get the wheel.
Get the wheel.
Change your consciousness.
Change your
A lot of things
consciousness.
will flow from that.
Change your thinking, change your
It's
life.
not just intellect. It is vibration.
Because it's, I can be guilty of that, being in my head, knowing something, but you got to move from that next step from knowing to acting upon it. That's
Right.
when you truly know.
Because your subconscious mind controls your actions. It
Right.
controls your decisions.
All righty. Thank you, Brother Prescott. Thank you, Caribbean Life. We're going to get out of here and follow me, Minister Imhotep. You can catch me on YouTube, Minister Imhotep, or you can get me on Facebook, Stanley Yorker, on IG, all of the usual suspect platforms. But I'm going to be back here every week so that you can catch me here on Caribbean Life TV and radio. We're going out to the diaspora, and that's what this message is for, all folks in the diaspora, not just here in the U.S., but we're trying to reach out that consciousness, that collective Pan-African consciousness so that we can build as a people. We got to break down those barriers that divide and saying I'm Caribbean, I'm African, or I'm this, or I'm that, foundational Black American. Fine, we're all of those things, but at the bottom line, we should be all united and moving forward in progress. And until next time, we are out. Peace, prosperity, and power.
Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for being here. All right. Oh, I got to sing and dance for a little bit longer. Oh, but you, them the lights.
Are we live or we're off now?
We're still going.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, check out Brother Chris, Get the Wheel of Abundance as a beginning tool, the first tool. Then as he's going to also have some personal sessions. And if you contact him about being able to do some one-on-one, that'd be something that could be valuable for as well. And you don't have to be in the same place.
I will say this. I like to work with moon cycles.
Uh-huh.
The new moon's coming in around the 15th, 16th, 17th or in there in the month.
Mm-hmm.
You want to work with me to manifest stuff? That's a good time.
Work with the moon cycles. Right now we're in a waning moon, right?
The waxing, once you hit the new moon and go towards the full moon, that's the time to attract things.
Right.
The moon controls all water on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It controls the tides.
Right.
You want to launch a ship, you launch when the tide's going out.
There you go.
A dock a ship, you lock when the tide's coming in.
And we're primarily water beings.
So you want to increase, you work on the waxing moon.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, now, Mr. Hotep, and we're out of here. The Alkemystic mind.